Well, Jim, with that,
Yes.
let's go to the glorious ratings that are the AEW Dynamite ratings. I don't know why I call them glorious, but let's go to those.
It was only 2 hours this week.
It was only 2 hours. Thank heavens. But here they are, Jim. AEW Dynamite, Wednesday, September 24th, 2025, 8 to 10:08 p.m. on TBS. On average, watched by 638,000 viewers.
So, what was last week?
667.
Okay, I keep thinking that it's the same thing every week, but it's basically the same thing every week, except for 3 weeks ago when they completely fell in a hole. But they're preaching to the choir here. They got another 600,000 people. Joy to the world for them.
This is down 4% from last week, which was 667, up 11% off the 4-week average of 577. But Jim, let's go to the quarter-hour breakdowns. These were compiled by WrestleNomics. Quarter 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m., the Adam Page Backstage Promo Challenge, and the start of Brodito versus GOA with picture-in-picture, 695,000 viewers.
So that is neither a large opening number or as small as some of them have been lately, but by the average, that means they won't lose quite as much through the course of the program.
We go to quarter 2, Brodito versus GOA continued. Oh, by the way, 8:15, 8:30 p.m. The Conglomeration Paragon Backstage Promo, an ad break, and the Chris Statlander Harley Cameron Backstage Promo, 617,000 viewers.
Ouch. They still managed to drop 78,000, but again, is it surprising given the people came, checked out what they were seeing, and said, eh.
Well, we go to quarter 3, more 8:30 to 8:45 p.m., Adam Page versus Lee Moriarty, picture-in-picture, the Cope Christian Cage backstage angle, and an ad break, 616,000 viewers. Low point in the key demo, 160,000.
Well, at least they kept what they had in quarter 2. They only lost 1,000 people. That's negligible. So they've stabilized themselves.
Well, Jim, we go to quarter 4, 8:45 to 9 p.m., the FTR Stokely Hathaway Willow Nightingale Jet Speed live angle, and the MJF backstage promo, 638,000 viewers.
Boy, that's a gift. An extra 22,000 people for that. That's their show average. So they've stayed in the sixes all through the first hour. Will they pick up a few at the top of the 9 o'clock hour?
Well, we'll find out right now. The big 9 o'clock hour, 9 to 9:15 p.m., quarter 5. The Don Callis live promo.
Ooh.
The Don Callis family versus the Conglomeration, featuring the return of Orange Cassidy with picture-in-picture.
Oh, good God.
654,000 viewers.
Well, they managed to get 16,000. Again, maybe they should have done this all along. We used to make fun of them for losing 200, 300,000 people during the course of the show. Maybe they should have just started all those shows with 200,000 or 300,000 less, and then they'd kept their audience.
Well, we'll see what they keep here. We go to quarter 6, 9:15 to 9:30 p.m. Continuation of Callis family versus Conglomeration. The post-match with Kyle Fletcher. Mina Shirakawa's backstage promo. An ad break. The Jurassic Express video. And the start of Claudio Castagnoli versus Powerhouse Hobbs.
This ain't looking good.
648,000 viewers.
Well, they only lost 6,000. That's a gift, but now I have a feeling the things ain't going to be so bright from here on out, because they've got to go down from here to, again, achieve their average. And Mina Mellons is in the main event, so there you go.
And she's fine. We go to quarter 7, 9:30 to 9:45 p.m. The continuation of Claudio versus Hobbs. The post-match with the Death Riders and Samoa Joe and Adam Page and an ad break. 618,000 viewers.
Yeah, there we go. We're back down to, well, it's not the low point. They did 617 and 616 earlier.
Well, we get to the end here. We go to quarter 8, 9:45 to 10 p.m. A reminder, an 8-minute overrun. Tony Khan's big announcement, Renee Paquette's live promo, and the start of Chris Statlander versus Mina Shirakawa with picture-in-picture. 606,000 viewers.
They stayed over 600,000 for that.
8-minute overrun.
Bravo.
8-minute overrun continuation of Mina versus Statlander, and the post-match with the Death Riders, Harley Cameron, and Darby Allin and a flamethrower. 654,000 viewers.
Okay, so something happened there at the end. They put, what's the show that follows it?
Impractical Jokers?
No, they put some other show on this week I can't remember what it was, but because usually they've been dropping on the overrun with Impractical Jokers. Well, they got a gift there at the end, but I'm astonished. I must say, bravo AEW that you could keep that consistent of a number for that mess of a show without losing the majority as they usually do. That's very heartening for them. But the problem is they're still keeping less people because they're starting with less people.
Yeah, and you brought it up before. We used to talk about them just a year ago, 2 years ago, whatever. It would start around 8, end up in the 6s. And there would be that big drop, like 200,000 people, 150,000 people. Seems like they're all gone now. And it's just there's a steady base in the range of 620, maybe, that are there to check out what's there, unless there's something else cooler on TV, like the Little League World Series or something. But the idea that it's kind of landed here, and we're supposed to believe that all these people are watching on Max, TV executives I know don't believe it. I don't believe it either.
Besides that, these drops came before the Max deal even happened. They weren't at 1 million anymore. They weren't at 900 anymore. They weren't at 800 anymore. I don't know that they were at 7 consistently. So then the idea that suddenly 300,000 people would say, oh shit, they're on TBS. We haven't given a shit, but now they're on Max. We got to watch. No. But again, they have solidified their base, but the people that were on the fence that may have given the show a chance for the first 15 or 30 minutes years ago, and that lasted for quite a while, they've just said, fuck it. So there's where we're at.